it's Kayla. What's going on? I haven't posted for a while. I am still blonde. I have some news. So I got a job finally, and I work at a car financing company. I will be working with people's contracts and doing database entry and stuff like that. So it's really good for me. I work in an office setting now. I don't work at a dealership, I work in an office, which is perfect for me. That's actually exactly what I was looking for. Today was my first day and it was really good. I had a great first day. Everybody there was really nice, really welcoming, really helpful, and I think I'm gonna do well there, which is really encouraging. I haven't had that feeling for a while in my past few jobs, so it's really nice to feel, and yeah, I think I'm gonna do well there. So, and it pays really well too, which is probably the most important part because, as you know, my fiance and I moved in together finally, and it's been a really good time. The hardest thing, I think, so far that I've had to learn after living with him is sharing, because as a kid growing up, I didn't have any siblings, as you may know. So I grew up as an only child in my house. It was just me and my parents, and I never had to share or really cater to anyone. It was just me. So, for instance, I got a Slim Jim the other day, and he wanted half, so I had to give half to him, and I'm just really not used to that. That's like a small example, but it's been really fun. We like make dinner together, we talk a lot, we watch movies together, we watch shows. Again, I watch his shows, he watches my shows, and we just have to like compromise that way. But so far it's been really good. And we live in his brother's place, but his brother's only home during the weekends, which is nice. So then we have the house to ourselves, and our little cat, as you can see here, that was Grandma Carol's cat. And as you know, she passed away, so we kind of inherited her cat. So he's cute, he's nice. I miss Bud, my cat. He lives with my mom now. But we only live like 20 minutes away from her, so it's not like I never get to see him, but it's not every day. I miss him. But in other news, in sadder news, my grandfather unfortunately passed away on Saturday. Today is Tuesday, so he passed away on Saturday. I wasn't really allowed to post anything until today because my aunt and uncle did not tell my cousins until they got back from their vacation in Vegas. So I wasn't allowed to post anything on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube because they might have seen, and no one wanted to tell them until my aunt and uncle got back. But yeah, so R.I.P. Papa, we miss you, we love you, I love you. Alright, so just like I did for my Grammy, I wrote my grandfather's eulogy, so I wanted to read it and see what you guys think. So tell me in the comments what you think about my eulogy for my grandfather. He's really important to me, was a really important part of my life, so be honest and tell me what you think. Alright, so here's the eulogy for my papa. And I'm going to read this in front of my family, his friends. He was a deacon of his church, so I'm going to read it in front of the whole church as well. And that's just to give you a little background of who I'll be reading to. So it's going to be a full house in the church when I read this. All right. Today, I thank you all for being here and welcome you to remember and cherish the memory of Donald Joseph Gigure. He was known by his immediate family as Papa, a name I so lovingly gave him when I was a little girl, like really little, not knowing just how much it would define him as a person to so many. His cherished friends and beloved fellow parishgoers knew him as Deacon Don Gigure, another alias he claimed with honor and pride. Being the eldest of his 3 granddaughters, I was the one lucky enough to know him the longest, although that does not diminish the love, respect, and adoration my 2 cousins, Megan and Mara Gigure, also had for him. I was adopted at birth. I mention this because it's especially important to me, personally. He loved his family, blood-bound or not, as if it was meant to be a part of his as if it was meant to be a part of his life all along. Maybe it was all fate, like it was meant to be. I can personally speak on this. It's not unusual for adopted children to feel different, perhaps even unwanted or abandoned at times. But my family, specifically my papa, never made me feel that way. I felt like I was always a vital part of his life, and being born into my adoptive family was a blessing. All my life, I've had the utmost respect for the stern but evidently loving man my papa was. He was friendly to everyone he came across and had an undeniable loving demeanor, no doubt. And he did have a special place in his heart for his fellow churchgoers. He was a man of God, a proud son of the Lord he so vehemently believed in. His entire life revolved around the warmth and comfort he found in his religion, for which he eventually became a deacon. He wore the title as a badge of honor, as he should have. He worked tirelessly and relentlessly and unselfishly for his God, and it's not like his work for his Lord ever diminished. My papa's life, up until the very end, revolved around him and his love. We were just lucky to be witness to it. Being granted the honor of creating this eulogy is not lost on me. In fact, not to sound morbid, but it's something I knew I'd have to ultimately write one day. After all, I wrote my grandmother's years ago as well. It's always been a sad but memorable event that I hold close to my heart. Truly, it's not a sad thing for me. It's a relieving, freeing feeling. The reason is because today I get to verbally and articulately describe who my grandfather was and what he stood for and what he believed in, for which I am grateful. His loving and kind nature should be celebrated, not forgotten or relinquished by his untimely passing. There's a really special and hilarious memory I have of me and my papa. He was visiting our house in Crystal Lake, and it was around this time that I was just becoming pretty fluent in French during high school. I was probably around 16 or 17. So, to paint the picture for you, I'm walking down the stairs. He's in the kitchen. My mom might actually remember this because she was there too. and I'm singing this hugely dramatic and somber love song. Part of it goes, Je ne veux pas travailler, je ne veux pas déjeuner, je veux seulement l'oublier, et puis je fume. It translates to, I don't want to work, I don't want to eat, I just want to forget, and then I smoke. Like I said, hugely dramatic song. But despite the nature of the song being so melodramatic, it made him laugh and kind of beam with pride, kind of impressed that I was singing in French. I think because his ancestors were of French origin. The humorous and comical expression on his face is something I'll never forget. He had a really funny sense of humor sometimes. Just a little fond anecdotal memory I guess I thought I'd share. I'll always remember Don Gigure as my loving papa, but he was so much more than that to so many people. Dedicated father, knowledgeable mentor, fearless leader, proud son of God, and last but not least, dedicated Packers fan. Let's not commemorate this day by somberly mourning and grief and loss. Instead, let's celebrate his life and the memorable impact he left on this earth while he was here. Let's look back and remember the funny, intelligent, loving, impactful man he was and always will be. Let me finish by quoting author and broadcaster Mitch Albom. Life has to end. Love doesn't. So that's my news for now. Hopefully I didn't depress you too much by the eulogy. Although I'm sad by his passing, I'm also just filled with love and remembrance, because towards the end he was just so out of it. He had dementia really bad. He couldn't walk. He could barely move. He, for a while, was eating by himself, but, needed help. And he stayed at a place called Brennus in Appleton, Wisconsin. And they were a great help. I am so grateful to them for helping him as much as they did. And I'll just leave you guys with a little nugget of information that my mom shared with me. Apparently, right before he passed, he calmly said, "They're coming for me. There's 6 people in aprons, white aprons, and they're coming for me." And then he died. So my mom believes that he was talking about his mom, his dad, my aunt who passed away recently, and a couple other people, maybe angels and God, but my mom believes in that kind of stuff. I don't. I wonder if he passed away in panic or if he was really calmed by the image of 6 people in white aprons. Who knows? Maybe it was God. Maybe they were angels. Who knows? But all I can say is that I will miss him for the man that he was and always will be in my heart. And I believe he's at peace now. Part of me hopes that heaven is real so that he is reunited with my Grammy, my grandmother. and hopefully they're at peace. So I get to read the eulogy at his funeral, and then the next day we're going to bury him right next to my grandma, my Grammy. So thanks for watching, you guys. Comment your support, your condolences, a good luck on my job. I would really appreciate it. And I hope that you guys are all doing fabulous, hopefully better than me. But I'm not doing too bad because I know he's at peace. He's no longer hurting. He's not in pain. He's no longer suffering from dementia. So, R.I.P. Papa. I miss you and I love you.